Hey, everybody, and welcome to an unfiltered wild ride with Steve-O. We've got Adam Ray, not as Dr. Phil, hence unfiltered. And man, is Adam Ray hysterical. Every time we get together, I seem to laugh harder than the time before. And it's not hard to have done that this time around because the last podcast we recorded with him, I was a disaster. We discussed that. We discussed the behind the scenes of Kill Tony and how Tony Hinchcliffe actually reacted to Adam Ray's impression of him. And what else? I mean, you just give this guy the ball and he's gone. He runs away with it. And it's just phenomenal. I can't say enough about how much I love Adam Ray, about how humongous he deserves to be. And when you enjoy this, as much as I think you will, let the man know. Put it out there in the universe. Adam Ray, we love you. So let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, people of the universe, I bring... Is that what I say I bring to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I give to you?
Ladies and gentlemen, people of the universe, I bring to you probably the most prolific impersonator of our time. Is that bad?
Yeah.
That's bad, yeah.
I mean,
they're fantastic comedian.
You sound like my mom's friends from
Salt
Temple.
of the earth. One of my dearest friends in comedy for the longest time.
Oh, yeah.
Adam Ray.
Oh, it's so sad when you do it for yourself and nobody else does it.
Dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, man.
That was bad, huh? Impersonator? Oh, my God.
No. I mean,
Impressionist?
You know what's so funny? I never thought I'd be sure. I don't even consider myself a real impressionist, but maybe just good at mimicking or taking on people. But
Dude.
I mean, give yourself some credit. Those
Bro,
impressions
a little bit of
are
credit, maybe.
The best.
But when I was in 4th grade, I started to like impersonate friends and teachers, and even my a friend of mine, Joe Antonsich and Aaron Skinner. I always say the full names, by the way, when I'm giving shout outs. Like, they both, Joe, sadly, RIP has passed, but Aaron Skinner, I think he's doing okay. There's certain people from high school, when I say their full names, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't, because there's a kid that I used to do plays with that I think now, like, got in trouble for kid porn. So, like, there's you never want to give the full name, but if I said the first name, all my homies watching would be like, oh, we know. But so I would impersonate this girl.
That was so TMI.
Hey, I like to start the podcast with a little bit of a teaser. I like the opening to be the cold open, but also the potential teaser. But there was a kid in our class named Annie. She was the new girl in school, and everybody had a crush on her. And I was a big kid. And you're like, how big? Well, my mom and I shared a bra, and I had a crush on this girl, like most people did. She wanted nothing to do with me. So I found out I could impersonate her voice. So I would call buddies, one kid in particular, and pretend to be her.
So this is like pre-puberty?
Pre-puberty, because I can still remember how I would access the voice. It was like in the back, like she had a real scratchy, raspy voice, so it'd always be like really faint. So that's about how I would do it. Just obviously with less, tequila,
right.
Weed, and depression on my vocal cords. But then he would think it was her, and me and my buddies would just laugh. So diabolical looking back, but I think that's where I started to kind of at least figure out that I could do other voices,
I mean, dude, let's just go ahead and say that your Tony Hinchcliffe came out of nowhere.
Oh, my fucking God. Pleasure to be on the van. Red van, look it up. We're on the red van, not to be confused with red tube. Oh, my fucking...
Yeah, I sent him a picture of me in the makeup chair, and he goes, well, first of all, some fan after a show in Eugene, Oregon was like, you ever think about going on as Tony? And I kind of scoffed it off because I was like, no, not at all. And then, because I tell a story about the Shane and when Shane and I did Trump and Biden on Kill Tony. And so I kind of do a little Tony act out on that, and he was like, oh, you should do that on Kill Tony. And then I texted Tony that, and he just texted in all caps, absolutely. And then he was like, just don't make me look like a fucking asshole. And then I got in full makeup, and I texted to him, and he just texted back, oh my God. And he's so, for polarizing as he can be, he really does laugh at himself a lot. And he and I know each other for so long, so I definitely give him credit for being, as goofy as he can be, and I think he just feels really comfy with me doing these characters, and he also knew that I wasn't gonna make him look bad, but he also, I felt like I had full jurisdiction to really try to be as silly, but it was great because even. When I don't smoke cigarettes, so I was half smoked about 30 cigs just to have because he's always tell me, so what's going on in your love life right now, and just always doing that. And so I kept doing that, and then I burnt myself at one point, and it became a funny bit because he was just he's like, I don't smoke cigarettes like that. And I was like, yes, we do, now we do, hit me, Red Band.
Right, me too. Your Biden was incredible. Tony Hinchcliffe off the charts. Of course, Dr. Phil. Those are the top three.
Yeah, for sure.
And then what's the brand new one?
This brand new one that I'm doing is a guy named Bruce Robbins. He's like a mentalist magician. That we've only done one show. We have another show at the Comedy Store on November 12th with Harlan Williams and Brad Williams. And it's kind of I opened he's like this illusionist, mentalist, magician, former real estate agent. His wife died from falling off a cruise ship. We don't know how or what happened. And his son is his sidekick. It's this comedian Bruce Gray that's at the Comedy Store a lot. And we just did one show at Dynasty Typewriter, and it was really fun. And the character's this kind of a little bit of a effeminate guy, but he's from the deep South, Nashville, San Antonio. I moved all over, but my wife died on a cruise ship, about 14 years ago. And he's got these big ass teeth and just real silly. We just actually locked in, and I'm gonna have an owl like this. I paid $1,200 to have an owl on stage. To be one of the bits, a living owl, and one of the things he'd be like, "This owl can read minds." So I used to be able to read minds. Remember Bruce when I could read minds? And my son's name is Bruce Jr. And he's like, "Yeah, I remember. Yeah, of course you do." But so this was a crazy time back in my life. But I'm a big animal guy, and so we got this owl that can read people's minds. So we can bring this owl out. Please welcome an owl, right? And the owl will come out. And Bruce Robbins is not gay, but definitely I think swings. But isn't bi, but I just like that he's kind of, ambiguous and he's got this big blonde coif and the big fucking, veneers. And so gonna bring this owl out. This is just a bit I just came up with today. And so we'll basically have this giant ass owl. People ask questions. Have you seen those clips of the woman? I think it's Diane or Delilah. She's got that really raspy voice. And people are like, she used to be on Maury Povich, and people would be like, Diane, so my mom passed away, or my mom is really sick, and do you know what's going to happen to her? And Diane's like, she's going to die 3 days. She just was this crazy
psychic,
yeah. So I'm going to do that with the owl basically, and have these pre-taped voiceover things, and have people ask questions, and then we'll just play a really fucked up thing from the owl, but he'll have a really
kind of the way the Howard Stern show does prank calls, with the preloaded.
Yeah, maybe with preloaded, yeah, but long responses that whether it's in context to what they say or not, but yeah, it's just it's fun. I mean, it's only the second time I've done it, and that's the thing too. I could have ran Phil into the ground, but we did it for 2 years and had all the fun. And now it's the challenge of trying to maybe make a new show. I don't even know if that's the idea. If I want to, people are like, oh, you're going to do another character show and tour that. But it's did Phil for a while before we even took it on the road. So you got to get comfy with stuff, build a following with it before you even fuck with that. And I don't even know if that's the move. I just want to treat it like I did Phil, which was I just want to do something fun and try that. And then challenge myself to do it again and try to make it a little bit more bigger and elaborate. And if it gets into a rhythm and it's fun, then yeah, maybe do it a few more times. But
the Comedy Store is the petri dish.
Totally, it's a great playground to fuck around.
The workshop.
Totally. And that's Paulie's mom Mitzi was a big advocate of that. And I only got to meet her a few times. I did get to showcase for her before she passed. I was wearing a backwards hat. And I went up and I did 3 minutes on a main room show, and Tommy, the booker at the time, walks me back to her and goes, Mitzi, this is Adam. And I go, hey, Mitzi. And she goes, why do you wear a hat? And I was like, oh, I don't know, I just kind of always wear a hat. Don't wear a hat. Okay, anything else? No. And then I didn't get passed. And I got passed 4 years later. So.
Oh, wow.
But at least to get feedback from her was cool. But I was like, anything about my comedy? And she was like, no, you're not ready. And I was like, all right.
Did you take the hat off when you went up?
The next time I did. This was after I showcased. So then for a few weeks I went up, but then I just was more comfortable. I think my jokes at that time were I did a joke. I was like, and I had to go up cold. I was like, this show, it's great to be here. The show feels a lot like my Little League games because my dad's not here. That's about the laughs it got. In a 350-person room, 2 people going, not enough to be a regular.
Now, when you took Dr. Phil on the road, am I right that you were doing like massive venues with it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were doing 3,000 to 5,000 seaters. I mean,
Jesus.
that one in Nashville that we, I think you were out of town when we were doing it, was a new venue called The Pinnacle, and it was 2,800, and I'd say about 30 out of the 35 were sold out. Like the Fox Theater in Detroit was 4,800. We got about 4,100 in, which is still bananas.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm going to start my first stand-up theater tour in January.
Yes.
The Who Is Me tour, AdamRayComedy.com. I have clubs for the rest of the year and then move up to theaters, but those are all about 1,100 to maybe 1,300,
Amazing.
Because you got to start slow and I wouldn't want to jump right to. Phil was a different beast. Like that was, and also ambitious. Like some of those venues, I was like, fuck it, I think we can pack it out. But there easily could have been not the appeal that I thought, but people showed up pretty fired up.
Unbelievable. And by the way, thank you so much for inviting me to so many.
Oh my God. Yeah, we try. I mean, we're going to do a few more here and there in 2026, I think. Maybe like a Florida run, maybe I'm doing a few in Australia, but like as soon as I get another one, on the books that makes sense, like, because you were so good on, at least you got to do the store one,
Yeah.
That was so great.
I did a bunch of them, and now that, I meant to kind of lead with this,
Yeah.
but you're in rarefied air, a 3rd time guest on the Wild Ride podcast.
Yes, dude. And what's so crazy about that? Such a fan for so long. And then, like, when you finally asked me, it was dope. I think the first time we did it was
On the cruise ship.
On the cruise ship.
And the second time we did it was in the green room at the Comedy Store.
As Phil.
Yeah, as Phil. And bro, I was not in a good place for that one.
No.
I mean, if there's ever been an episode,
You should have had me just fucking peel the curtain back and just fully therapy
Well,
you.
I mean, I didn't even.
What was going on? Or do you not want to talk about
Dude,
it?
I'm happy to talk about
Yeah.
it, dude. Like, I'm very clear on what was going on. The reality is that episode performed wildly well. Thank
Good,
God.
good.
I mean, or not. Thank God. But you just carried, like, dude, you lobbed up so many, like, gifts. And I was just, they were just not, I just could not do anything, and you just carried that whole episode on your own shoulders. Sometimes you just don't have the strength to carry the show by yourself. And it's like with my girl, gorgeous girl. Sometimes I need a little help from BlueChew. And that's what it is, man. It's a chewable tablet, delicious, and it helps men have better sex. And if you think that you might do well to try a tablet that helps you have better sex, then let BlueChew and the Wild Ride podcast offer you an entire month's supply absolutely for free. All you pay is $5 for shipping if you go to BlueChew.com and use the promo code STEVO. Yep. An entire month's supply of BlueChew tablets absolutely for free. All you pay is $5 for shipping if you go to BlueChew.com and use the promo code STEVO. Now let's get back to it. Like so much. I think I apologized for the episode in the intro to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I just wasn't
Not
there.
necessary. I didn't feel any of that, by the way. I just.
Oh, dude, like you're a mensch.
I didn't, but Phil did. Phil walked out going, well, I've seen better sides of Steve-O. That's what we call a Rubik's Cube that can't be solved. You ever get a pussy that doesn't squirt? That was Steve-O on that afternoon. Usually filled with some sort of fun liquid. The first time I made my wife squirt was January 6th. Not the one that, same day, but different outcome. And you could say I stormed her Capitol, but I had not brush my teeth, and she can taste it down there. She can feel it is what I mean. I can taste it. I can taste her. Hold that thought. We'll be right back. We'll keep her right here. What I mean by tasting her is, you ever have an Oreo McFlurry, and then a day later you have a Diet Dr. Pepper, but you still got McFlurry remnants? It's like seeing Schindler's List on a first date. You should have gone to see Air Bud, but the Cheesecake Factory was closed. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, look, there's two sides to a pancake. Okay, there's most guys have two balls unless you're Lance Armstrong. Too soon. But my favorite thing about being a dad is that every day's a challenge, you know. And you can turn the lights off when you're getting a blowjob, but you got to ask the Uber driver if he's cool with it. What was the question?
How surreal was it when you actually had Phil come up on the live show?
Oh, it was great.
It was amazing.
Yeah, he was a good sport. He was like, I was in full Phil, and he was like, "No, it's your show, but I'm gonna fuck with you." And as him, I was like, "Well, I know you better than you know yourself, motherfucker. So bring it on." And he was like, "Oh shit, okay, you know."
Dude, can I tell you that we were over the moon to actually have Dr. Phil, the Dr.
the real
Phil,
one, yeah.
sit in this seat right
That
here.
was so cool.
And that was before or after?
Before
I was on.
Yes.
Because you guys asked him
Yeah.
about me, and he was like,
Right.
"Yeah, I've seen it. It's funny. I've heard." Yeah, he was really. I think he's just starting to kind of be aware maybe of it, but he'd seen enough to. His son Jordan, shout out, was really instrumental
Right. I
in
remember,
getting him to be involved and like at least be in the know. So
How good does it feel to know that
to not
from-
be sued. Awesome.
I don't know if there's grounds for a lawsuit there. That sounds like just satire. Like
Totally. Well, also, I was never and have never been. It's all silly. I'm never blurring the lines between
right.
anything that he's doing or not doing, and I'm never like
Sure.
making him out to seem. He's always in control, and the shows I'm not making him seem like an idiot. Like
Right,
it's
I
still
mean-
my comedy brain, so he's like sharp and abrasive and silly and sarcastic and like kind of sweet and not a villain, like always trying to kill it with kindness, but really. Like I remember we did the show in Reno with Knoxville and Adam Devine and Jay Moore and Joe DeRosa and this kid. I was doing all the crowd work up top that I do, and a kid walks down the aisle. I was talking to a kid in the crowd who looked like he was 11 years old, but he was like 27. And then his friend walks up with like a white shirt and a tux jacket and a bow tie, and I was like, "What's up? Do you work here?" And he was like, "No." I was like, "Do you? Are you tearing tickets at the local Cineplex?" And then we started goofing around, and I brought him up to take a shot, and the kid in the bow tie asked for a chaser, and I was like, "What are you, a fucking pervert?" So it's like what a silly, like that's obviously like just a funny thing to call somebody just because he wants a chaser for a shot. But so shit like that is so silly that you can't actually pin it. You can't actually be like, "Oh, he's making him look bad." It's all for the goof,
Right, of course. And I just
and he got that. He got that. So that's.
Even if you were like going hard, I don't know that there's anything to sue there.
No.
Satire, Saturday Night Live, South Park.
Totally. Yeah, I know you can, but
how good does it feel to know that that you, as Dr. Phil, absolutely obliterated the performance of the real Dr. Phil? Like,
I mean, so wild.
it was like that, And again, I'm like. I kind of didn't even want to put out that episode. Like, I think we actually banged it.
I know.
We banged it for a while before we put it out.
Yeah, we were like, I was begging you to put it out.
Yeah,
You wanted
for
to
sure.
scrap it.
Yeah, it was fun. It was also at the store, which is kind of cool
Right,
and
right.
iconic
Bathroom.
in that back.
I mean, in hindsight, thank God it's out because
Yeah.
it's just night and day, a different time in my
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
But I'll tell you what was happening. It was a perfect storm of awful for me in my life. Like,
That's how life is, isn't it?
I had just put out my bucket list special.
Yep.
Right. So I was in the position of like starting from scratch, putting together a new hour.
Yeah.
And like for normal comedians, like it's totally permissible to go ahead and book a comedy club run to workshop your new show and put together your new
Oh,
hour.
gotcha. As you're, finding it as you're doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
For me, that's not so cool. Like I just, I would like, I don't know, maybe I was looking at comments on the internet and I was
Oh,
like, oh man,
man.
what am I doing? Like I'm touring and I don't really have a show. I'm figuring it out.
Yeah.
Like I was.
People want to see you so bad, but I get it. You do want to be as prepared as possible, right?
The bucket list show I had taken off like a full 9 months
Yeah.
of just not doing shows at all. I would film my bits and then go work at the Comedy Store on each section of the show.
Yeah, that's a
and
good
then
way
put
to
it
do it.
together. And I had a show before I started touring it.
Yeah.
For some reason, this last one, I was like, oh, I'm gonna workshop this one in comedy clubs, and I was really. I just felt like I owed people more than that, you
Yep.
know? And so I'm like, dude, I'm selling tickets to what's not ready. And so that had me in a dark place.
Right.
I was also in a position where I really needed to restructure my whole operation in that 2022 was a huge year.
Yep.
And everything got real big, tons of employees, tons of expenses, warehouses and that, everything. Money was flying out the door way more than it was coming in.
Gotcha.
So I was seeing fairly staggering losses on a monthly basis. And what else? Just in general, looking at the internet, I was seeing a lot of comments that I agreed with, negative things. I was like, damn, and when I see stuff I agree with, it really affects me.
Yeah.
So all of that stuff was going on, and I was just super in my
In your
head.
head, yeah.
I was just
I've been
totally
there.
crippled. And thankfully, since then, I've totally downsized my operation. I'm not bleeding money the way that I was.
Good.
I've spent the last almost year and a half since then, making the show that I'm touring now, utterly stellar.
Awesome, dude.
And
Can't wait to see it.
And everything that I saw on the internet that I agreed with, I 100% addressed.
Well, that's awesome.
I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled to get back together with you and just have a blast and celebrate it.
I say this to any young comic that asks me for advice too. I go, don't look at your sets as crushing or bombing. Always take something to celebrate and something to work on, but also you don't get better when you're crushing all the time. And that goes for on stage and off. And it's so funny that, I know that everything I'm saying, sounds like it's something out of my book, but it does. I can't help that now. Now when I say something that's a real genuine piece of Adam Ray advice to myself or anyone, it's that from my own life experiences, I can't help but put a Phil twist on it. But because you wake up and you want to make your bed, but sometimes you got to eat some ass, And it's not your choice or which order you do it in. But my point is you had these things that kind of mash together, give you the perfect storm of I got to make a change. I also got to look in the mirror. That's a tough thing for any young comic, artist, whatever. I guess more so in comedy because, anyone can relate. Even you starting later in life can relate that it's everyone naturally will point the finger at things you don't have, or why didn't I get this, or why didn't this perform better, or why didn't whatever. And like you just said, it's it's tough to fucking flip it around, dude, and put it on you. And it's the Phil stuff even started coming out of that because I was, just auditioning for so many things and not getting them, and just was blaming and just putting it on other things and being well, fucking quit complaining, dude, and take shit into your own hands and create your own good luck or whatever. And so for you to have that moment, because that's where the herd gets thinned as far as people that want to have a long lasting impact in the biz, and also your own fun factor is determined by how much you want to get in the other seat and see. Sometimes you got to ride shotgun, Sometimes you got to give roadhead while you're driving. We'll be right back. But you know what I'm saying, though? So I'm very
Right.
proud of you for doing that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
And some of the feedback that that I felt that I needed to address, and maybe not so well on this episode thus far, was to try not to make the show all about me. So I've failed in that regard thus far, but not too bad.
No, but hey, you're you're saying this show about
I
you?
mean, like that whole thing about, I want to be careful about not steering it too much towards me, because I overdo that sometimes.
No, but the fans are watching the show for you, so
Well,
they want
to
some,
an extent.
some snippets.
Let me tell you this. I'm excited about the fact that this is the first time we've had you in one of our RVs.
Yeah.
Again, it was on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
It was in the dressing room at the store.
Both fun.
Both fun.
You've had some iconic people in this bus, though.
Oh my God! Like this one in particular,
Yeah, dude.
we've had some heavy hitters. But like I said in the intro, you've been a dear friend for a long, long time.
Oh, yeah.
You've been a super supporter of me in comedy, and I'm
yeah.
so grateful for that.
Easy peasy.
It should go without saying that support is important, and that's why I'm going to support you right now in your overdue effort to kick that bad habit with Fume. This is a diffusive device proven to have great success in helping people replace a bad habit with a good habit, because there's no smoke, there's no vapor, there's no nicotine. This is just flavored air. It gives you something to grab for to get you through that quitting of the nasty habit that, again, is overdue. So if you're ready to do this, then get to tryfume.com, tryfum.com/Stevo, and use the promo code Stevo to get a free gift with your journey pack, because it's time for you to begin the journey to a healthier, happier you. One who's less embarrassed about having a nasty habit, too. So one more time, go to tryfume.com/Stevo and use the promo code Stevo to get a free gift with your journey pack. Now let's get back to it. I used to go to your place to do the podcast with you and Brad.
Yeah. And over on Laurel. Yeah.
You lived in that little apartment in West Hollywood. Did you and Brad both live there?
No, Brad lived in the tree right outside. I think it was on Fountain and Sunset, and he used to. An acorn dropped on my head one day, and I said, "Who goes there?" And he went, little dwarf language, and I went up, climbed the tree. He made me cookies. We talked about open mics. He lived at that point at Hollywood and La Brea. There was a big new condo situation, but super close, and that was great because that area was almost like Melrose Place, if you remember that show, where there was a pool in the middle, remember?
Sure.
And there's all the apartments around. It was like
remember.
classic Hollywood. Fun fact, our landlord was this woman named Roxana, and she was real sweet. She one time I brought some friends over, and it was buddies from Seattle that were visiting, and they're staying with me. And, I have a pool, so we're like, they get in a pool, and we're going to shows. We go to a couple friends' TV tapings. They're away from their kids. It's like just going to be a great LA buddy Seattle weekend. And I bought a couple pool chairs from Target, and we're sitting in the pool and drinking beers. And she comes down and goes, "Adam, can you get the pool chairs? You can't have the floaties in the pool." Like, there's a sign at the pool that said no lifeguard on duty and no diarrhea, which it was my first time seeing this sign, because I never really went to the pool, and I was just like, no diarrhea, like, isn't that assumed? Like, who's walking into that pool being like, "Hey, man, is it cool if we, what the fuck, dude? Who put that sign up?" And I can only imagine, I was saying to my bud, I go, it feels like that sign wasn't there, but there was some old man was peering through the window because people kept shitting in the pool, and was like, "We got to put up a goddamn sign. There's so much diarrhea in this pool." But so she tells us to get out of the pool and take the pool chairs out, and I go, "Why?" And she goes, "If you drown because there's no lifeguard on duty and you fall off the chair and drown, we're responsible." And I go, "Roxana, if I drown by falling off a Target pool chair, that's how I was supposed to go. That's my story. I don't want any help. If I fall off and I can't make it." And she makes us get out, take them out, whatever. Cut to 2 months later, Roxanne and I got into it. I had a small part in the Ghostbusters movie that Paul Feig did with the all-female cast.
All female, yeah.
And I got to voice Slimer for that, which was really cool. They didn't, I was like, oh, Paul, who do you have doing Slimer? He's like, oh, we haven't figured out yet. And I was like, oh, you're probably not going to need some celebrity, right? They're probably not going to have Jason Statham being like, oh, I'm Slimer, And so I was like, all right, I'm going to make a fake audition tape. It's on my YouTube channel. I bought a Slimer mask on Amazon, and there's a hole cut out of the face and a Slimer head. And then I'm wearing just like a puffy vest, and I'm like, what's up, guys? My name's Slimer. This is my audition tape for Ghostbusters. I don't know why I have to audition. I was in the fucking first two, but whatever, I'll play the game. And then I did a couple like Slimer voices, like, here's Slimer, eating out a girl that he just met online. Right? And I do all that. And then I do, here's Slimer. I did a couple of those, and I did like, here's Slimer waking up and realizing he overslept through his Bikram yoga class. So then I just go like... Fuck. And then I do like a couple, and then I do here's Slimer, and it was like, realizing his account got overdrawn at Chase, and take his card out. Oh, come on. Just a bunch of quick things like that. And so then I go in to do ADR for the couple scenes I had, and then I opened the thing and it said Slimer or whatever, and so he gave it to me. So I got to go to the premiere, and I met a bunch of people, Aykroyd, and just all these people were going to it. It was at the Chinese, and they had a big party at the Roosevelt next door. And I lived on Lower in Hollywood, so I walked home and got real drunk. I just so drunk that Michael McDonald from Mad TV was in it too, and we drank before and then went to the red carpet, and there was some kid, I think it's online somewhere, some kid pulls me over and was like, weren't you Slimer? I don't know how she knew. She's probably 8 years old, and she goes, so what was the best part about making the movie? And I'm shit-faced, and I was just like, yeah, Slimer doesn't... I'm sorry, I can't do this right now. And I fucking walked away and came back and then tried to sober up and give this girl a couple good answers. And then we go to the party and I meet Ray Parker Jr. Who wrote the theme song to Ghostbusters, right?
Wow.
And he goes, oh, you live around? I go, I'm a comedian, this and that. He goes, oh, I want to come over to your shows. Take my number. So now I'm walking back to my apartment, Lower in Hollywood, blackout drunk. And I get up there and I realize, I don't have my keys on me and the door's locked. And my roommate at the time was gone. So I'm like, wow, I have no way to get in. So my phone's about to die. I call a locksmith. He's like, I'll be there in an hour and a half. I'm like, fuck. So I'm waiting out front. Phone dies. He shows up, comes in, tries to open it. Can't get it open. He's got 9,000 keys. Can't get it. And I'm just getting so frustrated. I'm so tired. I'm so hungry. My bed is right there. I just want to go in. There's no way to get in.
So you kick in the door.
So I go, dude, this is wild. I go, yeah. So I'm going to start getting frustrated at him. I'm like, how do you not have a key to, and by the way, sorry, my phone did not die. An integral part of the story. So I started getting frustrated with him. I'm like, how do you not have the right key? He's like, dude, it's fucking not my key. It's your door. Your door. They don't make these types of doors anymore. I'm like, how am I supposed to know what kind of doors they make and don't make, man? We're yelling. Roxana comes down. Adam, be quiet, screaming, And then I'm just like, dude, you fucking, and I'm like, well, I'm not paying unless you get in. He's like, the fucking fuck you are. He's like, you got paid for whatever. He's like, you already paid anyway. We already had your car on file because you fucking used this 2 years ago. I was like, fuck. So then he's like, I'm like, well, dude, this is obviously I'm going to get on Yelp, give you a bad review, man, because you couldn't get me in my house. He goes, you want to get in your house? Turns around, boom, Van Damme's the door down, smacks the thing in one kick, it opens. And I was like, what the fuck? Roxana comes down. She's like, Adam, shut the fuck up. You're waking people up. People were turning lights on, screaming. It was 3 a.m. And I was like, dude, you're going to pay for that. He's like, I'm not paying for shit, man. He's like, you went in your house. You got in your fucking house. Deuces. Pieces out. I get into my place.
The double deuce.
I order some fucking pad thai.
What's deuces, man?
Just fucking peace.
Yeah.
Just and, a couple of backwards peace signs. I get in. I order some pad thai. And as I sit down, at the little couch and watch some TV, I looked down at my phone. I had butt dialed Ray Parker Jr. and there was a 49-minute voicemail. So everything, he heard everything.
But did he listen to it?
I don't know, because then I go, sorry, Ray, big fan. And then I just hung up real quick. And I don't know.
I think you can tell when it's a butt dial. And everybody listens for a little while.
A couple minutes. Just to see if he's juicy, yeah.
Right. And maybe it was.
Yeah. I mean, so
sounds
crazy.
Sounds like it had potential.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
But here's another crazy thing. That complex, there was a family that I would always see swimming in the pool. A mom, a dad, and a kid. And when I'm moving out, a girl that I'd become friends with that lived in the building, tells me
How close
how close what?
of friends?
Oh, just friends. Yeah, she now
Okay.
works at Live Nation. Yeah.
Oh, wow,
Yeah,
okay.
never hooked up or anything. But and she goes, "Hey, do you know that woman that Alec Baldwin shot?" And I go, "Yeah." And she goes, "That was blah blah blah." Like I think her name was
Elena Hutchins.
Yeah. Yeah. And I go, and I just harken my brain back, and I go,
But what about her?
that she lived in our complex. Oh. So the mom, the mom,
At
dad,
the
son.
time she was shot.
I had moved out, but yeah, she
That's
still
what I
lived
wanna
there.
know is-
She had still lived there, but
So when she died,
yeah,
she
they were
was-
still living there. But I used to see her all. So she was like, "Remember that family?" That I was like, "Oh yeah." She goes, "That was her," and I just never put it together. But then when the name, I was like, "Oh wow, yeah, I do remember meeting her and having her name be that," but just didn't put two and two together. And so sad because I was like, "Whoa!" Then I just got flooded with all these memories of like how sweet she was and how like she was always just at the pool with her kid and just like yeah, dude,
Yeah.
gut wrenching, dude.
That's
gnarly.
tough.
Anyway,
How many years all told now that you've just totally put a downer on this whole thing? You lived there for a good stretch.
yeah, I lived there for
Because I'm trying to think the first.
2009 to 2014. I lived after I graduated from SC for college in 05. I was at La Brea and Melrose for 9 years, and then 14 to 19, I was at Laurel in Hollywood.
Okay, so when I first went and did the podcast there with you and Brad, would have been 2014 or later.
Probably, yeah, probably
Yeah.
2014.
And then you left there.
Left there and went to Sunset and Fuller
Oh my God! So you went to another apartment.
condo. So upgrade. Bought a condo on Sunset and
Oh,
Fuller.
you bought a condo.
Still trying to
okay.
get rid of it, man. But Hollywood is just like bananas now. Like it's just after COVID, like things just the amount of like stabbings and coyotes and fucking homeless shit and
What do
just,
you mean coyotes?
just coyotes being out and about. I don't know.
At
To
a
me,
condo and
we were on Sunset and Fuller, and Fuller's like one street up from that Rock and Roll Ralph's on
dude,
Sunset.
I lived.
Coyotes out and about all the time at night, and I was like, we're near the, I guess,
I
Runyon
lived
Canyon.
across the street from Rock and Roll Ralph's.
Oh, yeah,
at,
so right there.
Fuller Martell.
Oh yeah,
Like Martell was the one street
Near El Compadre, right?
Fuller, and then the next block is
Yeah.
I lied, dude. At one point, like when I got the intervention and I destroyed the apartment, the whole thing, that
Yeah.
whole dark scene.
Yeah.
At that time, I was renting 4 apartments. In that, when you're and it was all connected to my business manager. Autopay. 4 different apartments on autopay. Never late for a payment once.
good for you.
You got to screw up pretty bad to get evicted. I mean, like,
How long did you have the 4 for?
how long? Dude, the one was nothing but a skate park.
Yeah,
I
I remember that.
I had a skate park apartment.
You made it into a skate park?
I had a skate park apartment.
Holy
I had an
shit.
office apartment.
Awesome.
I had a third apartment for my assistant who did nothing but reschedule flights for me because I was just always on cocaine and never could make. I was always like, I'm not up for going to the airport, and I was just like, all I could muster up was a call to the reception. Hey, can I extend the room? And just
Wait, so when you're
tinfoil on the windows, dude. You know,
Oh, my
like
God.
And that's what my life. And then I had my bachelor pad apartment.
wow, dude.
And so I
4
lived, and I
spots.
lived there. I had a presence in that apartment building from 2001 until 2008.
Wow.
And I never saw one single coyote, bro.
Well, times change after the pandemic. Well, they were on Fuller. This was probably 2 years
I
ago.
mean, whatever, dude. Who cares? Like, if you
Crazy.
don't have a dog off leash, I think you're cool.
Well, exactly, and that's the thing. We would take our dogs out for walks, and it was just, but they lurked, man. They were
Yeah.
like, they'd be across the street. This was what was scary when I was real baked, and I took them both out for walks, and they're tiny little cavapoos,
I
little.
just saw your little dog.
Yeah,
That
they're
is definitely a coyote hors d'oeuvre.
That's lunch meat, dude. That's a little lunchable. That's just fucking snap,
Yeah.
crackle, pop.
The simple fact is, if you give a predator a chance, then you're bound to become prey. And that's not what you want to happen to your small business, man. Don't let the big dogs gobble you up. Put up a fight with Shopify. You can absolutely compete in the marketplace if you got an audience and a computer, baby. Because Shopify, from the ground up, is the gold standard for e-commerce. It's the best way to make a website that's professional, that's easy, and it's the best way to incorporate every single facet of e-commerce into it. I'm telling you, Shopify is the secret to all of my e-commerce. And you can try it for just $1 per month. $1 trial period. If you go to shopify.com/Stevo. You got nothing to lose, and by doing this, you can start selling today. With the holidays coming up, man, you want to get on this quick. So, one more time, go to shopify.com/Stevo for the $1 trial period. And with that, let's ride this baby all the way home.
And the coyote, I just kind of locked eyes with it across the street and just kind of like looked at it like this, and it just stared at me. And I was just like, just high enough to be like, is it like, what is it thinking right now? Like, it just stopped thinking, and like dogs on the leash. And then a car went by and the coyote wasn't there anymore.
Just disappeared.
And we started to walk kind of up the street, and it was right on the other side of the street. And that's where I was like, whoa, dude. Like, this is some Pepe Le Pew shit. But yeah, I mean, you're right. Like, I think historically, they don't want to come at you if you're not. But still, it was just eyeing, being like, there's a little treat right there. But
I believe you.
Or maybe it was a gay coyote. I don't know.
I wasn't sure if you were just.
Maybe it recognized me. Maybe it'd seen my videos. The coyote.
I thought maybe you were kidding around.
You know who speaking of my favorite Looney Tune was the coyote.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So a fun fact. Dave Chappelle said his favorite. We did a Phil show with Chappelle at his club in May.
Amazing.
And I tried to, I don't think it'll ever see the light of day, but getting to do it, he's real protective about what he puts up from the club and all that. But we got amazing pictures and footage. We taped the whole thing on like 9 cameras, like for a Netflix special. And it was unbelievable. And I brought out Ari Maddie and Jaleel White and Sandy Danto. And then Dave went up and just, I mean, it was unbelievable. The club, no one thought he was going to even be on the show. And so, because, you know, we did 2 stand-up shows on a Friday, and he hosts those, does like 20, 30 up top, and then brings everybody up. It's awesome. And so for this show, as a Phil show, he usually has this crazy big intro that he plays that kind of like welcomes everyone to the room, and it's just a really cool Dave, like Morgan Freeman's narrating it. And he was like, it's your show, man, whatever you want to do, however you want to open it. I was like, we have our kind of like whole Phil intro. He's like, do it. He's like, this is the only time or show I've ever let not use our intro. He's like, but whatever you got to do to make your show, do it, which was very cool.
And he's smoking cigarettes on stage in the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
Which is illegal.
No, yeah, in the Comedy Store. But this is at his club in
Ohio.
At the Firehouse in Yellow Springs.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so he's hosting the 2 stand-up shows at his club. And then the Phil show is the next night.
So who's in charge of all 9 cameras?
I mean, he's just got a full fucking, the
production
staff at his
team.
club is wild, dude. He's got a full...
Dude, bless his heart.
Bless his heart. And so we're sitting up there, and it's about 10 minutes in, and one of the facts I had about him, I was like, Dave, it says here you're a big fan of Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny was a big influence on you, which is like a true thing that we'd even talked about pre-show. So I brought it up in the interview, and he just kind of pauses and takes a drag and goes, and the Diddy stuff had just like come out, and he goes, Phil, I gotta be honest, it's been up here 10 minutes. You haven't asked me about Diddy yet, you know? And then he just went, and everybody started laughing. And then he just went on like a beautiful Diddy rant, like for about 5-6 minutes. And
amazing.
Yeah, he was killer.
And you can't put that out.
No, I mean, it's up to him. I think we might put a few. I think he's getting close to letting us put a few clips up. But yeah, it was so
when
good.
you say he's getting close, like who's in communication?
It's just all him. I mean, he's got his team, and he I think just got on Instagram, but the club, it's like they announce the shows pretty quick. Our show sold out real quick. Then like Bill Murray was just there.
Dude, I remember meeting.
He doesn't need to put any of it up. Do you know what I'm saying? So it would be way more for my benefit than his. Although the Phil stuff was so great, and I think the clips get a lot of love. So I think it would be cool, but he doesn't need any extra. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I met Dave Chappelle. I want to say the year. It was either 2005 or 2006.
Chappelle show.
Perhaps.
Chappelle Show came out in 2003, so I mean it was
Yeah.
still on at that point, I think.
It was before I got sober. The BET Awards were going on. I was going into a hotel to go film a bit with Method Man in his room.
Cool.
And like on the way into the hotel, Chappelle's like in the lobby, and I'm like, "Hey man, like I think you know, like I think I might be in real trouble, you know, like." And he says, "Hi," and I said, "Well, like you know, I've you know, recently like rather personally attacked some scary personalities in the rap world, you know, like trying to like, you know, sort of like, I think I might have overdone it, and like maybe like I'm gonna have like some scary people coming after me," something like to this effect. And Dave Chappelle said, "Come on, man, you're Steve-O. You got diplomatic immunity." And I'll never forget that, dude. I
Oh
hold
my
that so close to
God.
my heart. I just never ever try to do a Dave Chappelle impersonation again.
He does have a way with words. Like,
Diplomatic immunity.
it's like when he was in that character he did in Half Baked when he was like,
Doctor said I need a backiotomy.
he's a fucking wordsmith, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, I've clutched to that.
That's
Deep in, like,
amazing.
I hold that
That's
so close to my
amazing.
heart. Like what I really initially intended to get at
Yeah.
is that we have you in the RV for the first time,
Love
and
it.
we drove the RV to your house.
Thank you, which is awesome.
I've never.
And this is
well,
also
dude,
brilliant and genius. And what a good way to get people to.
Right.
There's no reason to say, you know, I was like, oh, I am free. And even I would have come to where you were going. But
I love that, and dude, I just want to celebrate your meteoric rise, bro.
thanks, brother. I appreciate
Like
it.
I
man.
love that. I love it so much, man. Like
It's just a blip. I have so many things I want to do, and there's just not enough time in the day. I'm sure you're the same way. Like creatively, just like I was just telling my wife, I was like, fuck. I just got back yesterday after being on the road for 8 days, and
were you in Charlotte?
I was in Charlotte. Yeah, Friday at the Comedy Zone.
Comedy
First time
Zone.
there. Awesome room.
Yeah, you know,
Great staff. Great peeps.
I was consulting with ChatGPT because I texted you yesterday. Are you in LA?
Yeah,
And,
I just gotten back and went right to the Dodgers game.
wow, amazing.
18 innings, by the way.
Right.
Yeah.
Fucking bananas.
Couple minutes after texting you, I thought, why wait for him to respond? It's asking, like, if, you know, they're telling me if he's in LA, I could ask ChatGPT.
Wait, really?
So I asked ChatGPT, like, hey, can you tell me, you know, based on his tour schedule, like, is Adam Ray in Los Angeles right now, or is he somewhere else? ChatGPT says he is in Charlotte, you know, at you know,
Yeah.
Comedy Zone. And I was like, oh man, you know, that's crazy. And then something else, and like I asked something or other, and I was like, oh, well, darn it, Adam Ray's in Charlotte. They said, like, I said, who's at the Comedy Store tonight? And it said, oh, well, the Sunday night lineup. I said, hey, it's not Sunday, it's Monday. Let me ask you again.
Whoa.
Is Adam Ray in Charlotte? It's a little bit fishy that he'd be in Charlotte on a Monday night
Yeah.
in a comedy club. And it said, nope, Adam Ray is doing a Monday night show in Charlotte. And I was like, dude,
Oof, ChatGPT.
like, so what? Is he
Turn a
crushing?
cock block.
I said, is he crushing it so hard that he added a Monday
What?
show? and ChatGPT said, yeah, that's probably what's going on. So, like,
Dude, this sounds like a friend that turned into your manager that doesn't really know what's going on, but you're like, "Where's Adam? Probably in Charlotte, man. Did he add a show, dude? Yeah, he's crushing it right now, dude. Like, we're crushing it. Like he's fucking, but doesn't really. But like, I never talked to that
Right.
guy, but he like has just enough info.
right. Then you get back to me. You're like, yes, I'm in LA. Which, dude, by the way, thank you so much,
Come on,
dude.
man.
I just love you so much.
Let's go.
So then, I'd like, then today, I get on, and I've got ChatGPT on voice. So I'm having actual like spoken
Oh,
conversation.
dude, he'll have
Can
a
you pick
45-minute conversation with this.
Can you
with this
pick
thing.
the voice that talks back to you?
Yeah,
Or-
you do. You do.
What is yours?
I might switch it. I don't know.
What is it? Like-
It's got to mellow out with the
He's even
vocal
got a
fry.
name for it.
I call it Chad.
ChatGPT.
So I turned it on today. I said, Chad, got a bone to pick with you. You told me Adam Ray's in Charlotte. He's very much in L.A. He's like, oh, man, sorry. I said, okay. I said, it's water under the bridge. Now, what are we going to talk to Adam Ray about? I want this to be hilarious. Chad suggested that my opening question for you
Oh, great.
be if you found yourself performing for an audience of goats, what would be your first joke? And I said, Chad, the most annoying thing in the world when you do comedy is for somebody to say, oh, you're a comedian? Tell me a joke.
Oof. Well, you know what? I'd probably dip into. I wouldn't want. You want to crush in front of goats because they are not at the top of the animal kingdom, but they definitely have contributed more than we think. You also they have a pretty good. They're quick with their feedback. If you're good, they let you know. But if you're bad, they don't. I don't know. I'd probably ask my nephew. My nephew's 10. My nephew is all about the kid jokes. He's what's a taco's favorite dance? The salsa. What animal has the biggest chest? The zebra. What did the mom say to Michael Jackson at the beach? Please get out of my son. I don't know. I'd probably ask a kid to give me some sort of a direction because they're more tapped into the zoo. Yeah.
Oh my God. Do you do freestyle rap? Because you think very quickly.
Man, I wanted to so bad. I remember when Rozelle came out. My friend showed me Rozelle. Do you remember
I
Rozelle?
remember Rozelle,
He
yeah.
could beatbox at the same
And
time
rap
as
at the same
rap.
time.
Dude,
He was
my guy.
If you're mine, he was so
Yeah.
good, dude.
Dude, my guy.
Yeah.
My stomach hurts. You got me.
You didn't see that coming.
my stomach hurts. I'm
Oh my
laughing,
God!
dude.
What a great question, though. Yeah, I mean,
I was going to say that it wasn't ChatGPT's finest moment, but I was clearly fucking wrong.
what if it was? Wait, now what if this whole time this was just a Steve-O original, and he was like, ChatGPT came up with that question. if it's fucking stupid, it was definitely ChatGPT. But he really sat up and he was like, you know, I'm going to ask him opening question. How would he open if he had to perform for goats? And you were like, yeah, you're really going to go with that? And you're like, yeah, and if he doesn't like it, it'll be ChatGPT. It's my show, dude.
I'm
That's
actually
funny.
I like to hold myself pretty accountable.
Yeah, I know you do.
Rigorous honesty.
Yeah. Anyway.
Unbelievable, man.
Yeah, there's no shortage of. I don't know how you are with you have so many personal stories to share on stage, but do you ever see things I don't know, on TikTok or somewhere online that you're just immediately you get some sort of emotional response and connection to where you're like, I'm going to talk about that on stage because it just hits you?
Nah, man. My whole deal is a hybrid of jackass style stuff and storytelling and jokes. So
People want to hear from you, right?
my whole thing is extra naughty movie and meets a stand-up comedy show.
Wow.
Where the stories are paid off and the punchlines, it's the story, the act is illustrated and punctuated by actual
And you're using video
footage.
and stuff, right?
Yeah,
Awesome.
for sure. My new show, I've got 45 different videos just rapid fire throughout the whole
Awesome.
act.
I really want to. I love that, by the way. And this is also why just using the stage for what you want is so great, and that there are no rules.
And dude, and so many of these comedy clubs have these unbelievable state-of-the-art LED walls,
Yeah.
the Irvine Improv,
Oh,
Brea
man.
Improv. It's built for me, dude. It's the most fun, and yeah, dude, I can't say enough how stoked I am on what I'm doing.
I can't wait to see the new show.
It's not anything like conventional comedy shit. I'm not emulating shit. But
And you're still in Nashville. That's where you're based
Yeah,
now?
dude.
So I'll be in Zanies in November, the 20th through the 22nd, right before Thanksgiving. Are you going to be gone?
I'll be in Zanies January 2nd and 3rd, but you said November 24th?
20th through the 22nd.
Oh, shit.
Thursday through Saturday.
My last show of this November run is the 23rd. Somewhere in...
But the whole weekend or just one show?
I'm on an early run,
Yeah.
November 6th through the 23rd.
Wow. But you're locked in when you do so many shows like that. That's why being gone for, I did 8 shows from Tuesday through Sunday, but I came back just needing a few days off, but also once I got to Charlotte after the 3 shows in Baltimore, it was like, oh man, all these new bits were just clicking and ticking, and it's why it's such a great art form. There's no replacement for the reps. Like
For sure.
you just like they're the only way for you to hone all these stories and figure out, you know, when to cut to the videos and how long to use
For sure.
them, and right, like that's even an art of like just when using them to accompany and not just you're not just playing the videos and being like, remember that.
Right, 100%.
Thanks, guys.
100%.
Which is a version of the show being that where people would probably there's young YouTubers or whoever that like don't have shows.
Oh my God,
that
there's people like
they just want to see you, so they're
I mean, there's people booking comedy clubs and theaters so that the audience can watch them play video games, dude. That's crazy
my
out
God,
there.
dude.
Wow.
What do we do
That's
wrong?
a thing?
There absolutely is that.
Holy shit.
But yeah, dude, I love it. Do you regularly record your sets
Yes.
and watch the video?
So yeah, I was just earlier today.
So important to do that.
So important. You know, I don't know why. I don't know anyone who doesn't do that. It just
Ooh,
feels
I
like.
think there's a lot of people who do not do that.
Well, and I don't know why you don't. It's just like if you're so good, you know, I don't listen to every single one, but I've also gotten pretty
so
good.
You do voice memo.
Well, I do voice memo, but on the road I tape all my shows because I'm always putting clips up or like a best of, like a 20 to 25 minute. Because over the weekend of shows in Charlotte, for example, yeah, there's I mean, I did an hour 20 pretty much every show. There's probably 15 minutes of crowd work from every show peppered in, and so I take the best of that stuff and make a best of just to keep the content game moving. And it's a great thing to get people to come out to shows from. And some people, you know, are idiots and they'll post like, you know, do you have any jokes? There's always this. I'm like, I'm using this is.
Right.
Yes, come to the show. There's an hour of jokes in there, but I'm not going to burn all those.
Right.
Even though like clips are just the way people consume everything now, but yeah, I will watch back the videos to be editing for that purpose. But then
Nice.
it's a double win because then I'm also watching like the way that I, you know. But I'm also I think I'm decent at being able to in the moment be like, you know, almost pinpoint like, all right, this hit harder tonight because I cut a little bit of fat. I was doing some joke about, you know, being a Jew but loving all the Christmas Hallmark movies, and then this dumb joke about the storylines and how they've you know, you can always tell what sort of shape the country's in by how many new Hallmark movies come out. Last year there was like 40,000 new movies, and then, you know, kind of doing a joke as the movie trailer voice about like the movie that came out, and it was like what did I say? It was, I kept playing around with it, but I locked in one that was like, you know, Jacob was just a regular 7-year-old boy who loved Christmas more than anything. Until one day, while his dad was overseas fighting in Iraq, Jacob walked in on his mom hooking up with the mall Santa in the hot tub. And now Jacob is forced with the biggest conundrum of his life. Does he tell his dad, who's overseas killing innocent civilians because the president thinks that war is profitable? Or does he buy a shotgun with no background checks and shoot up the mall that the Santa works at? Mario Lopez, Candace Cameron Bure, and NBA on TNT analyst Shaquille O'Neal in Boom Boom Christmas. And then but I did like a couple more before that, and I just kind of like cut those and jumped right to the bigger one on one of the shows, and it like hit harder. So I was like, all right. But I made a note of that, and then, but it's still good to go back and watch you know, just for timing purposes.
Dude,
you know?
for sure.
Have you been filming every show?
Not every show, but every run that I go on, I film a show. So after I come back from each leg, I've got like to study it down.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was with Tremaine yesterday, we watched a show from my last run. And it's just such a different experience watching it.
Oh, yeah.
Especially watching it with someone.
Oh, yeah.
And then it is performing. It's just super important.
Well, because you don't want to like have to be, you know, it takes some of the fun out of like what you were experiencing live to go back and watch it and be critical with like a different set of goggles. But, you know, you have to. It's you're like you're trying to fine tune stuff. And there's things I used to see when I would do crowd work. I had this like, I don't know if it was nervous tick, but just the wheels turning in my head of like listening and deciding what to, you know, say and how much information I wanted to gather in the moment. And I would kind of like see like my fingers like this would kind of like just, I don't know if it was ADD or whatever, just kind of like doing that. And I was like, oh, that's distracting. I go, I don't know if it's distracting to people in the crowd. It's distracting to me. So probably. So now I try to be like a lot more mindful, whether it's like hand in the back pocket or in my pocket,
Dude.
or just think about it. And it's like, I wouldn't have even thought to And people are not bashful about telling you like, if something's like, I don't know, your fly's down or your fucking your cock's too small or whatever it is, they'll tell you, but you want to try to get ahead of it before they do.
Yeah, there's so much like just little like, oh, I don't like the way I do that.
Yeah.
And then now and so you cannot do that.
Yeah. I mean, actors do that shit. I mean, they're everyone's got something. Everyone's got a
sure.
Yeah, but
how do you do with hecklers? Like it's
Fine.
when they're egregious though. Like
oh man, I really try to kill it with kindness and try to use the distraction to squash the distraction is how I approach it. But there are times where I had this guy in Omaha of all places, this guy who was apparently in a gang, and he had a big chain, and I asked him where he got the chain from. I go, man, how do you get that gold chain confidence, man? Like I'm just not there. Like I want to rock that, but what came first, the chain or the confidence to wear the chain? And he was
this is you
me engaging, and then he was so fucked up that he was like, why don't you quit talking shit, motherfucker? And I was like, whoop, what's going on right now? And I was like, am I on a hidden camera show or whatever? And then his buddy started chirping. And then his buddy started to calm down. And then I go, my man, dude, it's all good. I wasn't coming at you, this and that. I was just trying to engage, whatever, ask a question, just trying to and everybody was kind of getting a little uneasy. And I go, let me buy you a shot. We'll bury the hatchet. He goes, okay. And I'm like, all right. And then I go, can we get two shots for me and my alcoholic friend over here? Because he's fucked up. And he goes, you keep talking shit, motherfucker. I'm gonna fucking kill you. And I was like, all right, maybe a shot's a bad idea. Maybe, I don't know, maybe maybe a hazmat suit. I don't know. Where can we put him in? Can we put him like a bus and send him? And then and then he gets up and he starts walking to the middle of the room and kind of towards the stage. And now people kind of start to get up around him. I've never had anything else like this happen. And then his buddy gets up. His buddy's just like 6'9" dude, and he's got like a bedazzled hoodie on. And I go, dude, is your hoodie bedazzled? He's like, yeah, I don't know. My girlfriend makes this stuff, so I'm just trying to like help her out. I go, you're the last person I would ever expect to see in a bedazzled hoodie. Just this huge Mexican dude, 6'9". And then I go, you're going to follow him out? And he goes, yeah, man, my keys are in his car. I go, I feel like you should be in control of the situation. He's 5'2", you're 6'9". And then he's like, yeah, well, he's in a gang, so... And he goes, anyway, I'll be back. I go, no, you don't get to just say he's in a gang and then leave. And I go, worst possible thing to deliver as you're walking out, being like, yeah, he's in a gang, he's killed people. Anyway, I'm gonna go grab my keys and be back, And so then they walked out and they left, and I kind of like talked about the situation for a while and kind of got the room back, and I was like, I go, sorry about that, guys. I go, this is why live comedy is great. Like sometimes sometimes you go to Denny's and you order a Moons Over my hammy and they bring you hash browns with pubes on them. And I go, and you can eat around the pubes and still have a great time, or you can just send it back or get up and leave and go to IHOP. And I go, so thanks for sticking it out, whatever. And
what would you classify that encounter? That's eating around the pubes?
That's eating around the pubes. If I took a shower with them, that's eating the pubes. But where I learned to just kind of like simmer down like that and stand my ground and like just try to like, because you don't want people to leave. And I would tell the staff, like, don't kick them out. I'll either say that's a wrap or like this guy's case, who walk out on his own accord. But I was in Reno. It was probably 6-7 years into headlining. I'm at the Reno Laugh Factory, and casino's fine, rooms whatever, the clientele is always Walmart.com, but it's like everyone's there to have a good time. And it was right after Trump got elected the first time, and I'm doing jokes about both sides, which I always do. I'm hitting Biden, Trump, whatever, and not trying to divide the crowd ever. Just keep it. Everyone's got to be fucked with. Everyone's on the table to be made fun of. Yeah. And so, but people were sensitive to Trump and this guy. There's an older couple in their like late 70s, early 80s, and I'm talking about how Melania Trump, I think, had, Michelle Obama had, they go low, we go high, talking about and everybody, thanks Michelle, fucking nice shoulders, by the way, or whatever. And I go, and then Melania was like, be best, and everybody was like, yeah. Wait, what? Fuck, be better? Try your best? I feel like we're missing some words, sweetheart. And I was like, for sure, Trump was standing in the wings like, look, you get a few syllables a week and then back in the box, bitch. And the guy goes, that's my fucking president, shut the fuck up, the old guy. And I go, oh, sorry, I was making fun of, that's what Melania said. Like, you look it up. I'm just taking what she said, make a little joke of it. Poked fun at Michelle, too. We had Biden earlier. We're getting everybody tonight. And then he started making fun of my haircut, and he was like, "You fucking stupid haircut, you fucking." And then I had done a few jokes about being Jewish, so then he was like, "You fucking Jew haircut." That's a little weird. Where you're just like, "Oh, all right, no need for the name calling." It's
I've
kind of what
never
I say.
heard of a Jew haircut.
Me neither. Yeah.
Well, I suppose there's the down the.
There's the. We'll be right back. Yeah, there's the Orthodox curls,
Yeah.
So then I go, and I tried to just play it cool and again, like, use him, and I go, and then I just started to lose my composure, and I was like, "Sir, you know what?" I go, "Get it all out. You're probably not even going to be here in the next 15 days, so, like, you might as well just fucking get everything out before you pass away, and nobody fucking is bummed that you died." And I did a whole fake scene of, like, the people at his, funeral and the stories they'd be telling, and be like, "God, he was such a fucking," and just, like, making, and trying to be silly about it, but also get the control of the room back, because I was kind of losing it. And then he just started screaming even more, and then I just, trying to be funny was out the window, and I was just like, "Dude, shut the fuck up," and just lost my cool, and it was weird. And then they got up and walked out, and then I tried to get the room back, and it just wasn't great. And then I get outside, and people walking out being like, "Thanks," and I'm just like, fuck, like, it's always on you, you're always in control. You have the choice to. I could have ignored it. I could have done something better. I was in control, and I lost my cool. So immediately I'm just like, all right, I got to learn from this. And then the guy comes out, and I go, there they are. And he goes, "Worst show I've ever seen." I go, well, you're the worst crowd I've ever had. So thanks, you guys in particular. And then he reaches to try to grab my hair. And I went like that and grabbed his hand. And I go, "Sir, I've never beat up an old man in a casino in Reno, but I'm down to try." And then and Sandy Dante was opening for me, was right there. And then I threw his hand away like that. And I go, "Have a good night, guys." And then his wife comes up, spits in my face, and goes, "Go to hell." And I go, "I'll see you there, bitch." And Sandy's just dying laughing, because he's like, "Dude, you're like the nicest guy I know. I'm like, I've never seen you lose your cool." I told an old woman, "I'll see you in hell, bitch." Like, I mean, I was raised by a single mom, 4 jobs, like, take your dishes to the fucking, like, I just was, just don't have a bad bone in my body, I feel like. And I was sick for probably 3 or 4 days after that, because I was just like, man, that is not me. I lost my cool. I didn't you're up there. Even though I'm like still newly into headlining and whatever, like, it was on me to dictate how all that went. And it didn't go well. And seeing people walk out of the show that weren't them being like, "Thanks, man," and being like, "Oh man," even they were like, "What a weird show." Like, that's what I remember and I mean, can tap back into, even just like talking about it. So I, from that moment for sure, was just like, again, like the things you say of like you going back and watching the game tape and figuring out how to, like, you were at this point, how do I, you live and learn. And you got it, and you don't get better when you're crushing. So I had that, and I think about that all the time. So even this instance in Omaha with this gang member, I'm like, well, I know that I'm not going to lose my cool. So I know that. So everything else that happens now, it's just about trying to be funny, be real, keep it moving. But, like, I mean, dude, that was wild. Spit in my face. "Go to hell. I'll see you there, bitch." And I fucking meant it, dude. I mean, that was probably my dad leaving coming up. I don't know what that was, but,
Amazing.
Crazy, right?
Dude, I'm just hearing those stories makes me profoundly ashamed of myself. Because, like, I would lose my cool so regularly over such little stuff. And my rationale was that, like, people being disruptive, screaming out, is disrespectful to everybody else who came to see the show.
Yes.
And I'm not okay with that. This was my position. On behalf of everybody who spent their hard-earned money to come enjoy this show, I am not going to let it slide.
You can't.
That you are disrespecting everybody else.
Yeah.
So I would really put my foot down, draw a really hard boundary, and be like, nope, and like kick people out, scold people, be like, and like I thought I was defending like the majority of the crowd.
Yeah.
But to your point, it's always on you.
Yeah.
And all I actually accomplished was making the whole crowd think I'm a dick. So it totally backfired on me.
Yeah.
And this is like towards the top of that list of like negative feedback that I agreed with.
Wow.
People
Cool.
were. I saw someone say, "Dude, somebody screamed out, 'I love you,' and it's Steve-O threw him out." Some shit like that.
Yikes.
Like, it did like kind of get to a straw that broke the camel's back kind of a thing.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it would
yeah,
drive
yeah.
me nuts so much.
Yeah.
But dude, I saw that feedback online. I was like, dude, I totally agree with it, and I just made a promise to myself that I'm not gonna scold people or throw them out. I'm just not gonna lose my cool. And now for like a year and a half, I've not thrown out a single person. I've not even scolded a single person. The farthest I'll go to an egregiously disruptive audience member is to say, you know, I used to get really bent out of shape about people being disruptive at my shows, but I don't do that anymore. Got a sobriety date for freaking out, and I'm not relapsing over this.
That's awesome.
And that's just
Great.
And you know
Make
what?
a little bit out of it.
By taking that approach, all of a sudden, like the heckling's just not even like an issue anymore.
Yeah, you're not giving any
Like, I give
any
energy
fuel.
to it.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, oh my God, like, thank you Reddit for calling
Bro.
for making me like, you know, like, and for that matter, thank you to everybody who ever left a negative comment that was actually grounded in something that I could address and become a better version of myself.
Yeah, there was a while there towards like the end of the bucket list run where like you were losing your cool pretty often, and me and Isaac were just like by the merch, and we were just like, oh, there's another one.
Right, and it was like now that I've like committed myself to not doing that, I realized looking back, it was never necessary.
For sure.
Well,
I did not ever need to do that.
And I will say, most of my Reddit comments were authentic. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. But I think what you've learned, Steve-O, is that, you know, life is long. You know, it's not a race, it's a marathon, you know. And you think about people in wheelchairs or with fucking fucked up feet or legs, you know. They're taking a bit longer to get from point A to point B, you know. They don't even make it to point G sometimes, you know. But, you know, the third time I ever thought about going to a glory hole was in college. And I'm not going to say I put it all the way in, but I felt something, or someone is what I like to say. But, you know, whether you live in a tree like Brad or you're living down here in Coyote Town, you know, I always like to say, stay in school, stop, drop, and roll, only do drugs with fun people. And if you're confused and alone in the shower, shave your head, your back, your pussy, and your crack. We'll be right back.
Dude, I love it so much,
Thanks,
man.
brother. Thanks for having me.
Dude, thank you, dude.
I gotta go take my wife to dinner.
Yeah, sorry for going over.
No,
man.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun.
We're over, dude, and it was worth the extra time to plug in that air conditioning unit.
Oh, bro, game changer.
Yeah, big time.
Wait, come see me on tour. Can I plug that?
Absolutely.
So AdamRayComedy.com for all the tour dates. The final Dr. Phil is at the Wiltern Theater in Los Angeles on December 16th. My first theater in Seattle, December 19th at the Moore Theater. And then San Antonio, Spokane, Fort Worth, Stand Up Live in AZ for New Year's. I think that's
Dude, how great
Nashville.
are New Year's shows?
New Year's are the best. People are so fired up to be there. The energy's crazy. And AZ, I love. Wife got married there. I got screamed at by Randy Johnson when I was a kid there, the pitcher.
Wow.
And then the Who Is Me Theaters Tour, January through April. Detroit, Cleveland, Vegas, Boston, New York, Florida, San Francisco, Portland, all the hits. AdamRayComedy.com.
Dude,
I
you're
love
the best,
you.
brother. Love
Thanks
you.
for the fun,
Thanks,
guys.
man. For sure. And there you have it, folks. Adam Ray, does he or does he not deserve to be the hugest star? I think so. I think his star is rising. I think he's just doing better and better. I think he's just going to get bigger and bigger, because how can you be funnier than that guy? I don't even understand it. The guy's so damn talented. But, you know, we find ourselves at the end of an episode, and I'm always just so darn grateful to all of you guys who stick around to the very end. And what a rad roll the podcast is on, huh? Like, candidly, we're 6 days since we dropped the last episode, Matt McCusker, and it's sitting in 8th position with like 73,000 views. It's crazy, and like the highest retention. I mean, not to get too overwhelmed and caught up in the numbers and the performance, but it means a lot that that the podcast is doing as well as it is. And it's good for morale. We're enjoying doing it. We're loving it. We're excited. And we love you. Yeah.